All right, guys. So when I tell you that there will always be a V8 Ford Mustang, I mean there will always be a V8 Ford Mustang, and Ford will outlast and outlive the competition. According to Ford CEO Jim Farley, who was in my city and state this past week, Charlotte, North Carolina, quote unquote, Ford Mustang is going to celebrate its 60th anniversary coming up here. A lot of our competitors have left. They've come and gone. We've never did that. That's a shot at Dodge and Ford and Chevy. We're going to continue to invest. And if we're the only one on the planet making V8 affordable sports cars for everyone in the world, so be it. Those were his words, not mine. This man literally said that they're going to continue making affordable V8 sports cars until the end of time, even if they're the only ones doing it. Dodge is no longer making V8s. Chevy will no longer be making V8s. It's only going to come down to Ford. So I'm telling you, or rather I'm asking you, is Ford looking a little bit better to you right now? If you want that V8 experience, that Ford Mustang is looking pretty good. Let's be real here. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So as you can tell, I'm in a car that makes this a car vlog. You already know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because you're in the right place. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. Make sure that you subscribe. So according to Ford CEO Jim Farley, who was in my city and state this past week, and I didn't even know it, nobody told me. He was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Quote unquote, we are fine with being the only one on the planet still making V8 affordable muscle cars, right? So basically he's saying that he is perfectly fine being the only car manufacturer in North America still making V8 powered sports cars, right? Because Ford doesn't call their Mustang muscle car. They call it a sports car. He's fine with that. He is doubling down on that. Everyone else is leaving the V8. Dodge has already left the V8. They're going to the inline six bullshit, electric bullshit, right? We all hate it. You hate it and I hate it. You can't go from the biggest naturally aspirated engines ever built and supercharged engines ever built to basically powered by, you know, whatever this phone is powered by, A15 Bionic chip, which is basically what your car next year will be powered by. It's hard to go from that to, you know, this. Chevy is getting rid of their Camaro line altogether if they haven't already. I don't even think they made a 2023 Camaro. That's dead. So they're putting all their eggs in the Corvette basket. And to my understanding, they're going to be doing some sort of V8 hybrid situation that's coming out, which is going to be pretty sweet. From what I understand, twin turbo V8 hybrid. It's going to be a monster, but it's not a full V8. It's a V8 hybrid. So it's half and half. Ford, however, hasn't done anything half and half. I mean, of course, they've got the EcoBoost, but when you get up to the top echelons, it's Dark Horse, it's GT50, and then it's the GTD. The GTD is the 800 horsepower V8 powered monster. But it's all V8. It's all V8, big engine. And they're doubling down on that, even in 2024. His words exactly here, quote unquote, Mustang is going to celebrate its 60th anniversary coming up here. A lot of our competitors have left. They've come and gone. That's a huge shot at Dodge right there. Because you think about it. Dodge had the Charger, the Challenger, and the Cuda in the 60s and 70s. And then they got rid of it. And then they brought it back in what? The early 2000s, 2005, 2006. The Charger and the Challenger and the Magnum. And then they got rid of the Magnum. And now they got the Charger and Challenger, Hellcat, Scat Pack, all that stuff. Now they're getting rid of the Challenger. They're only going to have the Charger. And they're getting rid of the Hemi. They're getting rid of the Hellcat. Getting rid of the Scat Pack. Getting rid of the V8. He's absolutely right. A lot of our competitors have left. They've come and gone. We never did that. We've always been there with the Mustang. And that's absolutely true. Like when you think about it, I think Ford has come out with the new Mustang damn near every year for the last like 60 years, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but at least in my lifetime, I feel like there's always been a new Mustang. Like every single year, there's a new Mustang. You may love it or hate it, but there's a new Mustang and it's always got a V8 under the hood of it. 60 years and it's changed over time. We've got the EcoBoost and now we have the Dark Horse, which is that 500 horsepower V8 monster. We're going to continue to invest. And if we're the only one on the planet making V8 affordable sports cars for everyone in the world, so be it. He is literally saying that we are here to outlast Dodge. We're here to outlast Chevy. We're here to outlast all of them. And he's absolutely right because everyone else is going hybrid or electric all the way. Now, granted, the argument can be made that maybe the electric cars make more power, a little more efficient, less spin, you know. less maintenance. We don't know that to be true, to be exact, because let's be real here. If you've been watching the news up north, Teslas are pretty much bricking. Like, they're nothing but expensive paperweights because they won't charge in this cold ass weather. Like, it's 18 degrees right now in Charlotte, North Carolina. Up north in Chicago and New York, I think it's -3, something like that. And apparently those Teslas will neither charge nor hold a charge in that type of weather. I don't want my car doing that. When I get in my Hellcat or I get in my Jeep Grand Cherokee, I fire them things up and they go to work. They do what they're supposed to do. So there's a whole lot of reliability issues that are still in question with electric motors or whatever the case may be. But Ford's not going to have to worry about that because they're going to be doubling down on the V8. Now, I like what Ford is doing. They offer the EcoBoost. And I'm sure in the future, they're probably going to offer some sort of, a hybrid, some sort of, maybe even an electric option. But apparently, they're still going to keep the V8, which is what all manufacturers should do. Chevy should do it. Dodge should do it. Offer a hybrid option. Offer an electric option, right? But keep what you're true to, right? Dodge is a muscle car company when it comes to their muscle cars. If you think of Dodge as in like the Ram back in the day and the Caravan and shit like that, then maybe. But now Dodge is synonymous with being a muscle car company. And once they got rid of the Hellcat, the Hemi, the Scat Pack, the 392, the 5.7, all that, what are they known for? You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to buy a Dodge because they're reliable cars or they're cheap. Or, well, cheaply made, but not cheap in price, or because they've got good, luxurious interior or great audio and great technology. Like, nobody's buying Dodge for any of those reasons. They buy them because they want the power, the experience, so on and so forth. You've gotten rid of all of that now, but Ford is saying, come on over. So my question to you is, people definitely have feelings about the Mustang Mach-E. The EV lets us sell ICE vehicles for a long time to come, which makes sense. When you put it that way, even traditionals can maybe agree that the Mach-E is less than an abomination and more of a necessary evil. I like how he puts it. Like, EV cars are a necessary evil. Like, it's coming. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? Going to the gas station every 2-3 days for your 700 horsepower V8 isn't practical 5-10 years from now. You feel what I'm saying? It's not practical and it's not sustainable. And it's just one of those things, like, you've got to modernize with the time, but it's also one of those things like you don't need to be the first one to that party and completely abandon what made you what you are now, which is what Dodge is doing. Yeah, they're going to be the first ones to the all electric party, but damn, you're just going to kill everything else. You're not even going to offer a V8 option. Like, nobody wants an inline six. Let's keep it 100. In some of my videos, I go back and forth about the looks and I go back and forth about the power and this, that, and the other. But in my heart of hearts, I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want an inline six Hurricane engine. It's got a Hurricane in it. That doesn't even sound right. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that at all. And I don't even want the SRT Banshee joint, that electric mess. I don't want that. I don't care how much power it puts down or not. I just don't want it. I'm not interested in it at all. But, it's a necessary evil because that's what we're going towards. But at the same time, you don't have to be the first one and the only one there, which is what Dodge doesn't understand for some reason. And that's what he's saying. It's like, listen, it's necessary evil. It is what it is, which is why we're going to give you the Mustang Mach-E, which is the electric joint. But we're also going to give you the dark horse. We're also going to give you the GT50. We're also going to give you the GTD 800 horsepower V8. So now we can satisfy all of your fancies, right? If you want an electric joint, cool. If you wanted a big muscle car, V8, whatever, we got that too. If you want a sports car, V8, GTD $300,000 car, I think it's like 300K. We've got that as well. Ford is hitting all cylinders, man. No pun intended. They're firing on all cylinders. And everyone else just looks stupid at this point. Like, let's keep it real here. I don't hear shit about Chevy. Now, I'm not a Chevy guy. I'm not in the Chevy community, so maybe I'm just not privy to that type of stuff. But I don't hear shit about Chevy anymore, right? They're killing the Camaro, and they're putting all their eggs in the C8 basket, which is perfectly fine. The C8 is a beautiful car, but the C8 is one of those cars where it's a little more niche than a Charger or a Challenger. Like, the thing about a C8, and I've sat in a C8, it's one of those things like, if you're not just going for a leisurely drive, the C8 serves no purpose. The trunk is small as hell. The trunk is about as much room as my footwell for my passenger seat. Like, the amount of stuff that I can fit in the footwell of my Charger right now is about as big as the trunk is on a C8. And technically it's not the trunk, it's the front end. It's the boot, not the boot. It's the hood area, whatever. Right. If you're claustrophobic, you're going to get claustrophobic in that car, because sitting in that, I got claustrophobic. It's just not, it's one of those cars where it's like, you really have to like this. Like, this is something that you like. You like this feel, this look. You like it's comfortable to you and you only. It's a niche car. It serves no other purpose than being a sports car. This car, however, I can fold those seats down. I can throw a big ass 70-inch TV in the trunk. I've had 4 tires in this car going to Atlanta, going to Alpharetta, you know. I've had that trunk full of all kinds of stuff. I've had the seats folded down, leather seats. I've done all kinds of stuff in this car. I've had this car full of people. You know what I mean? This car serves a lot of purposes. And then I can get on a highway and smoke 95% of the cars on there too. So the Corvette is not really one of those cars that you can put your entire brand behind, although Chevy is going to do that. Ford, however, Ford has always been there. Ford is always going to be there. Let's just keep it 100. Like, when you talk American sports cars, American muscle cars, American any kind of car, you got to talk, you know, Ford, simple and plain. We talk a lot of shit about Ford Mustang boys crashing out and doing dumb stuff. That's true. But the fact of the matter is they're always going to be there. Like, we have a huge Mustang club in Charlotte, North Carolina, multiple Mustang clubs in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can go to any dealership, any oil change spot, Jiffy Lube, Take 5, any of these little small spots, and they're going to know how to change the oil and rotate the tires on a Ford Mustang. And that's the benefit of it, a big Ford Mustang, an American car, you know? And clearly they're doubling down on that. And they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They're not leaving their roots, right? They're going to give you the future stuff, right? To, what do I want to say? To future-proof themselves. But they're not getting rid of their roots as well. You know, they're not abandoning them. So, you know, for a lot of you guys out there, if you really want the V8 experience and you want that muscle car feel, that muscle car look, that sound, that rattle, that cold start, you may be looking at a Ford Mustang, man. Let's just keep it 100. You know what I mean? You may be looking at a Ford Mustang in the future. It may be time to trade in that 2020 Scat Pack Charger and go out and get you a 25, 26 Ford Mustang V8. You know? How do you feel about it, man? You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. This is what it looks like right here. Looks like Ford is the future. How do you feel about it? See you guys in the next one, man. Peace.